Hello, super awesome stampers. This is super awesome stamper Shirley Merker. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Sun Prairie, Wisconsin, USA. I'm excited to share this design. It's part of my 12 Dies of Christmas Kits in the Mail, where I share different die cutting and stamp set bundle. This is design number 7, if I can count right. Let me count again. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, this is design 8. I'm sorry about that. Design 8. Had to count them all up on my ledge. So if you're creating along with me, you'll need to pull out the kit that's got the old olive card base. In addition, you'll need to find your Forever Flourishing dies. And we are using all of those. These other ones we'll set aside. And then you'll need to mount some stamps from the Forever Fern stamp set. The last thing that you'll need to grab would be one of the embossing folders from the Forever Greenery suite. So these are all part of a suite of products. That embossing folder also is sold with this one as well, but I'm using this leaf one first. So let me show you what I did before I move this out of the frame. It's kind of a magic eye kind of embossing folder. Depending on which way you look at it, the leaves are going up or down. I wanted my leaves to go up. So what I did was lined up the edge of the cardstock with one leaf in. So I don't know if you can see that. I've got one leaf hanging off the card. So I've got a set of 2 leaves in the shape of a V going along the edge of the card base. So that's how I created that pattern. All right, now I got to do the magic of television and flip out that embossed piece with what's in your card kit. So dump your card kit out. I'm going to automatically swap this one for the one I embossed. Bring my card sample back in. And then you're going to have a square of Clipsal Coral. I just cut a piece off for my sample here. You'll have a hoop, one gold hoop, a length of this gold thread, and a length of this old olive pretty peacock ribbon. Setting everything aside that we need to not use right now. The patterned paper. And actually, before I move that away, we're going to start stamping. We don't do anything with this one. It's just a layer. But we have some stamping to do, so let's do that. So on the card, I didn't do any dots. So I'm going to try that in this one, and you can tell me which one you like. I wanted to use accents of Clipsal Coral. Ooh, look at that. Just because I wanted a different color scheme. So I looked for a tone, and in my scrap pile, what I had extra of, and I had some Clipsal Coral strips. So there. So that's going to be our extra little pizzazz on our designer series paper. I also wanted to share that don't be afraid to stamp on your designer series paper if you need to fill in, just like I did, in between larger images. All right, and then To a Friend That Makes Me Smile is a stamp included in the stamp set. It's going to be the inside piece. Set that aside, set that to the top of my workstation there. And then we need to stamp a few of the leaf greenery pieces. So I think this is the largest one. Yeah, the largest one. I stamped that in Clipsal Coral. And then we're done with Clipsal Coral, so I'll shut that up. Next one is Soft Sea Foam, because those are Soft Sea Foam with some of the hues on all the greens on the leaf. And let's put that one down here. And then I'm done with that. And last ink pad is the Old Olive. And let's see, turn that around so I can see what I'm doing. There, that fits a little better. All right, so you can see how those 3 tones kind of work together. All right, our next step is to grab our magnetic platform and start loading it up. Now, I mentioned in the previous video, sometimes your dies jump around on your magnetic platform. So we'll see if I can get all this on the platform without them jumping around. If the dies get too close to each other, they tend to want to get away from each other. And that's just how magnets work. There we go. All right, we use this swag kind of looking thing. And you'll just use your big square for that. And then I included some of these strips. So I have, so see now, these little ones just want to jump away from each other. And there are 4 of these little greenery looking ones. And then I know I've got a scrap back here from the first time I did this. I'm going to grab my scrap. There. And then my cutting mat on top. Hopefully when I move it to my embossing machine, none of that will slip on me. So I'll be right back. Okay, we're back and we just pop those out of there. That pops out of there. And I'm going to grab the dies and set them to the top so I don't accidentally lose them on my floor. There we go. There. Okay, so move that out of the way. And pick those off my well-loved cutting mat. I store my cutting mats overnight in my embossing machine, and that helps them to not be so bowed. All right, I think we're ready to start layering up. And you know what? I forgot to put a doily in my kit. So we'll do that right now. Grab it out of my container. All right, so my first layer is going to be the pattern paper. And so my top flap is not popping up on me. I'm just going to bone fold that down. And next, put some liquid glue on there, and that's so that the glue will sink in between all of the embossing that we did. And that base again is old olive, and I'm just holding it down for a few seconds. Okay, next up is going to be our doily. And I think I'm just going to do some liquid glue as long as I got the liquid glue right here. Why not? It's going to squish out, but we're going to cover it up with this soft seafoam piece. That'll kind of squish through all the doily, lacy cuts. Okay, now, before I get the gold hoop on there, we're going to work on our gold thread here. So I gave you enough to wrap it around 3 times and have a little bit of extra. So I'm just positioning one end on the front so that it hangs down maybe more than half of the way. And then just wrap it 3 times. And we're going to move it in place. So just kind of wrap it close together. And lay it flat so that you can attempt to zhuzh this in place. So move it over to the left a little bit. And now I would try to loop it under one thread. Actually, don't loop. What I did in my sample was I made one knot around the 2 ends. And then I tried to go over one of the ends, one of the loops that are already looped around the whole card base. and on the right, and then with the other tail I went under the other one, grabbed it there, and I just want that knot maybe about a 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch down on that soft seafoam, just so there's an eye, a place to anchor the eye. And you'll see that this gold thread likes to unwind, so just try to wind it back up and force it through. There, and some of the threads didn't want to go through. That's fine too. Doesn't matter where all the threads hang up or where the threads end up. All right, and then I cut off the end right there. So we'll pretty up the ends in a second. Next would be your little bit of this peacock ribbon. So actually, before, if you haven't cut it off, all I did was wind this around the gold thread. Kind of twist those threads in on themselves again and make them one filament. It'll make for easier twisting. And then just pull. And I'm pretty sure I did a double knot because the old olive peacock ribbon is a little bit slidey, slippery, and so is this gold filament. There we go. So now we can make this look a little pretty. I'm gonna pull that a little more. And snip that off. And I don't know where I'll snip those. I'll snip those in a minute once I have everything else all on here. Okay, so my initial thought was that the ribbon would be kind of anchored on the hoop there. And I think we can do that. Let's move our thread over a little bit. So the hoop is in the center. Now to secure your hoop down, I gotta find my glue dots. My glue dot roll is way over there. I am going to put a few on the bottom corner, 3 to be exact, so that it's anchored. So 3 there, and then a few up here. And I can actually do about 3. Partly because I'm going to use the glue dot to secure those little Calypso Coral delicate looking things. Okay. So there, and there. Now find all your little delicate looking things. I think I had 4 of them. Might have lost one already. So now your glue dot, you're going to wrap it up onto your hoop, the ones that are in the upper left-hand corner. And then that glue dot that you've just wrapped up onto your hoop is what you're going to use to secure these little delicate leafy things down. You see that? I just pulled the glue dot up and around the hoop. So now it's not a flat glue dot, it's not a circular glue dot, it's flattened. There. See, they're gonna stay secure on there. All right, and you can wrap these up too. You can use those to help secure the paper down. All right, so the back up here, the assembly up here is the soft seafoam first with a little bit of the Calypso Coral, and then the old olive next. And what I'm actually going to do for extra security is just put a little bit of tear and tape. So I place the tear and tape on the paper so I have a place to grab it. And this will secure the soft seafoam. Here, maybe I'll bring this in a little bit better so you can see where we're going here. This one we can use liquid glue or a tape runner. I caution against using liquid glue on the Whisper White because it tends to bleed through if you, or leave a streak if you put a lot on there. So Calypso Coral right there. And then this circular eucalyptus looking one right there. And last is this, I don't know what you call it, a spray, I guess. So just put a little bit of glue on each of those. And flip it over and press down. Okay. All right, gonna pull in my inside piece. And place that there. And then you snipped off a little bit of this gold. All I did there, see that right there, is made a little loop and secured that loop in the center where they cross on a glue dot. Picked it up with my thumb. Not really. Pick it up with your take your pick tool or something to pick it up. Place it there, and then you're going to have to find your fourth little filigree thing. Where did mine go? May have to come back to that. Found it. Okay, and that'll just get placed over, and you might place over that glue dot. You might again want to kind of roll that glue dot in on itself so it's not such a large circumference. There, and then just cut that off, and it will unravel on its own. So both of the tails look kind of unravel-y. Okay, what else we got to do here? I got to trim these up. I don't need these quite so long and unruly. And as long as I'm trimming, we're going to trim my sample ones too. I don't know if I like that long like that. I think I'll leave that one. All right, and then gotta make sure all these filaments get in the garbage. I gave you a strip of these gold glitter dots, and I have a strip that I am using somewhere. Let me find it. I thought I put it at the top of my workstation. Here we go, found it. So I'm gonna swap it out. I use the 3 smallest ones on there. See right there? So let's do the next 3 up and see which one you like. One, 2, and 3. There. So here's the card that we started with, and as I'm looking at this, yeah, we're gonna have to cut that off. I didn't like that really long. Here's the card we started with, and then here's the card I just did. And I'm gonna have to adjust this a little bit, and I think I will move this over. I kind of like the ribbon right next to the wreath. Kind of brings your eye to the upper corner on the right. All right, so one last thing before I sign off is I show you where everything is in the catalog. So if you'd like to shop with me, that would be super awesome. The products that I use for this design are from the Forever Greenery Suite, page 108 of the annual catalog. You can use the suite item number to get the whole collection, and you would get the stamp set and the dies at 10% off. or you can just order the bundle, it's called, with the stamps and the dies and get 10% off. And then here are the rest of the item numbers for what I use. So here's the suite with the concept artist. Here's the stamp set, and then the bundle is right there. The ink pads that I used today were Old Olive in the Regals collection, Soft Seafoam in the Subtles, and there was one more. Oh, Calypso Coral in the Subtles as well. Here are the 2 pages of our pattern paper. So I use the Forever Greenery pack. And then I'm going to just show this. This is part of the suite. So the Forever Gold Laser Cut Specialty is part of the suite as well. And I might slip 1 or 2 of those in your kit. So be surprised with whichever one you get. I use the square vellum doilies right there. And then the gold glitter enamel dots, page 157. And also, if you want to just order more replacement hoops, the gold hoops embellishments are on page 156. The ribbon that I used, the gold thread is part of the Forever Greenery trim combo pack on page 161. It's number 22. And then the reversible ribbon is number 20. And on this page, where is it? Forever Flourishing, here are the dies. And here's another sample using the same die set from the concept artist. Last is the embossing folder page. So I use the greenery embossing folder, this leaf stem looking one. Not sure how else to describe that one. All right, thanks for tuning in. Again, this is my part of my 12 dies of Christmas. December 2020 kits in the mail. To order my kits in the mail, which includes all of the consumable supplies to create the greeting cards, go to my blog at superawesomestamper.com and click on kits in the mail for details and ordering information. So thanks for stamping with me, and make sure you click the subscribe and the notify button on my YouTube channel so you'll be notified when I load new content to my channel. All right. Thanks, Stampers. Have a good day. We'll stamp with you soon. Bye.